Kuroi Ame, or in English, Black Rain, is a 1989 Japanese film directed by Shohei Imamura. Starring in the film are Yoshiko Tanaka, Kazuo Kitamura, and Etsuko Ichihara. It's a powerful movie that handles a very serious story. The story follows a family in two settings. The first of these settings is on the 6th of August 1945, the day that the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. The second is 5 years later. Each timeline deals with different things. The first with the initial shock of the bombing, the scramble to survive and find family members. And the second timeline deals with the ongoing effects of the bombing on this particular family group. The Hiroshima scenes are quite raw and shocking for a Japanese film. The director did not hold back when recreating this scene. There's people walking around with their skin melting off. There's sobbing mothers holding charred, dead babies in their arms. And the horror of that event is really effectively captured. The scenes that are 5 years later are a lot more dialogue heavy. And it's here that we're quite masterfully shown the ongoing and lasting effects of the atomic bombing. In this timeline, or this part of the story 5 years later, people are either living with the effects of the radiation sickness, either showing physically on their bodies, or they're living in the fear that the effects of that radiation sickness will start to manifest at any time. For anyone, young and old, anyone could have been affected by it. And when you tie this in with a young woman caught between the prejudice of being over 25 and not yet married, tied in with the prejudice of being a potential hibakusha, or a person affected by radiation sickness, and you've got yourself a multi-layered film that cuts very, very deep into a part of Japanese culture that a lot of people in a Western audience wouldn't be familiar with. It's a very dark movie, but the director skillfully builds some hope into the narrative, even amongst the inevitability of the various situations faced by the various members of the family group. It was one of those films that when the credits rolled at the end, you just kind of sat back in your seat and went, wow. I imagine this would usually be quite a difficult movie to find, but we actually found it on YouTube in full and complete with English subtitles. So I would highly recommend that you check it out and give yourself an insight into a side of Japan that you may not have seen before.